You're welcome back to the Afia Morning Show, and we hope you were able to catch that report on the update on the Modern Bus Terminal in Gariki, Enugu. We're being joined now by Mr. Chilaka Njoku, a public affairs analyst and CEO Sputnet Limited, as well as Mr. Daniel Uku, the ED of the Daniel Uku Leadership Foundation. Once again, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you, Mr. Chilaka, and thank you again, Mr. Daniel.
Thank you very much. You are doing great.
Thank you. So, Mr. Chilaka, let's begin with you. Now, the Modern Bus Terminal, we're seeing the building taking shape, though we're yet to see the roof properly covered. But you can still tell the structure more or less. Now, the contractor is saying that the only challenge, the project manager is saying that the only challenge that he's facing is a lot of hearsay and criticism, people that are unhappy because they've seen what was there before being demolished, and now they're not happy that this is now taking shape there. So there's a mix of anger, nostalgia, whether or not there were compensations or not, people are still criticizing. And he's appealing to residents to be more positive about the innovations of the government. So your brief assessment of the progress with the Gariki terminal and what the body language of the people with regard to it.
Well, our people have, I don't blame anybody who is doubting any government, oratory or project, because in the past we've seen a lot of failures from government. So they're not to be blamed, one, two. As a project manager, managing stakeholders is part of his core duties. I'm a project governor myself, so he shouldn't complain about that. He should do his job. It's part of his core jobs to manage stakeholders. So he should have the right narrative to communicate to the stakeholders to improve the acceptance of the project, and also whatever he has to say about his percentage completion and all that. So it's part of his job. We appreciate the job. It's a good one. It's a welcome development. Our people are not used to it, so it's natural to expect resistance. Change management is a major component of project management as well. So you should know that people will resist change. So you should have strategized and planned with the right fitting oratory to convince the people before even the project started.
But quite far from the people apparently might mean that they weren't compensated. I mean, that's probably the reason why they are crying and the uproar. So could that be the reason why?
I've not seen anywhere where compensation is done and everybody says we are properly compensated. It's never done. But I remember before that project kicked off, there was some pronouncement by government asking people, if you know you've not been taken care of and you have a stake here, come forward. There were several engagements for almost 12 months. I've been following this government. So people who felt they were shortchanged came up at that time. And everybody was settled, and government pronounced that, yes, we have settled the people who own properties here. So anybody coming now is probably, I don't want to use names, but they're probably not doing the right.
Yes, but the thing is, just to clarify on that, you are very right when you say the government reached out to people who had yet to receive compensation. Now, this criticism is not just coming from former business owners. It's also coming from onlookers who saw the news online, saw the videos of the demolition. So it's not just about compensation. It's more about people's perception of it, because they saw that, and nobody wants to see buildings being torn down, and it continues to linger. The effect of that continues to linger. Now, it's very important that we also throw this back to you, Mr. Daniel. You've seen the developments. Like I said during the review, you brought the idea of the ICC to Afia TV. You went to the danger zone, and you were able to capture that clip of the deteriorating infrastructure. So let's know your reaction to the progress that has been made with the ICC, and now we're seeing the bus terminals taking more and more shape daily.
Well, it's just like what my friend has just said. There are things people have now come to believe the government. So they believe that governments, they are gamblers. They will now come and gamble, play on their intelligence and then disappear. But I think the truth of the matter is that when you see a government that is serious, you see, one thing about me, I don't praise for necessary, but when I've learned to give credit to whom credit is due, especially when you are doing the right thing. As the little I know about this government, I see them on a positive note that they are trying to do the right thing. So the issue of what is going on, I went to Gariki, but I've not been opportunity to know what is going on Gariki. But the one I see at this Holy Ghost I think some level of work is being done. It's not even this GTC that was put down. You see that a lot of work is also going on simultaneously. So I think because you see one thing that government have lost much credibility in this part of the world, in this our part of the world, that is people anything you do, people doubt it. You know, and then they will not until when they see the reality on the ground. It's just like what they said that people are complaining. Yes, and you know one thing about our people, you know, because people don't believe in documentation, and I think that's the problem some of them are having. Because prior now, they don't believe they are in documentation. Even when you say you document your property, you document this one, you document this one, because government will not compensate you out of nothing. They will compensate you on what is on the paper you present. But you discover that some of them may not even have any person, or may not even go and update their papers. And now it has hit them. They are now saying that, because if you have your paper, if they don't compensate you, yes, you go to court. Like, you know they have mess of going to court as if it's a joke. But it's a serious business. If you have issue that will make you to go to court, you go to court. And then if this government didn't compensate you, because government is ongoing. So, but the issue that some of them may not have any paper to present, and that's why some of them are having government capitalize, or people capitalize on your weakness. So if some of them, I think, if they are not being compensated, I think it's lack of documentation or proper paper. Because if they have their paper, why shouldn't they be documented? Why shouldn't they be compensated?
Okay.
That's my own understanding.
Mr. Chilaka, I know you're someone who believes so much in this government, right? But one or two is I probably might be hearing people say a lot of things, right? The onlookers, people on the sideline, being skeptical. You wouldn't blame them. This is Nigeria, by the way. But what they say is what I'm going to throw to you. And they keep asking that question. Are you sure that this is not a smooth screen? What we normally do in Nigeria, like we're not even midway half of the tenure, and this whole project and infrastructure is going on in Enugu State, right? So they're skeptical, like they're pessimistic.
Whether it's real or not.
Like, whether it's a small screen, is it because of the first tenure? They come into the first tenure, do a whole lot of work, and when they are ushered into the second, everything declines.
You know, that statement you made is like a pattern has been established in the amongst political classes
over the years.
So anybody who follows that trend is not making a mistake to expect that. But also, you made a statement that I believe in this government. You know, I believe in what is factual, what I can see, what is real. So my belief is based on, verifiable things that I'm seeing them doing. And they're consistently impressing me. I will continue to say that. I'm not from this state. So I have no stakes. I have no political bias. I don't belong to any political party. You understand? So I believed in change when PDP had failed so many times in this state. I was an advocate of change. During the election, I was not for PDP. I was for change. I was looking at Labour Party. But when the Labour Party fielded a candidate, I looked at the candidate, looked at the PDP candidate, I said, no, we stay with PDP because I believe in trending people. Check what they've done in the past. And the antecedents of the present governor showed a man from the private sector that is, deep with his knowledge of infrastructure development and governance. So, and he's not failing. So far, so good. He's doing well. I'll go back to the issue of the people accepting the government. It takes a very, very, very highly analytical and rational person. You understand?
People like that. That's even the question.
To believe that any government will deliver. Talking about small screen, we didn't even see any small screen in the last government. There was no screen to look at. No. So at least we have a screen to look at.
Yes,
let's keep hoping there's something behind that screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a lot going on in Enugu. I will say it again. The government of the day needs to find a very, very efficient way of communicating their projects to the people. It's not happening. Stakeholder management is a major, major, major thing for any government. So I don't know who the information or who is in charge of the information ministry or they are not doing something right. They're doing too much. People are picking things from here and there. They need to have either a program or a center where people go in and see Oh, they keep talking about website. How many people actually go to website?
But then let's look at the conflict now. People say that the government's job is to provide infrastructure. And I'll quote what Rufai Oseni said during his interview with Ubong on Business Morning. He said, government doing roads for you is not...
I've always been against cutting tape. I've said it so many times.
The government is not doing a favor for building a road for you. So, you know, could it be that, you know, people are putting pressure on the government, on this government to speak about everything, whereas they're saying that this is our responsibility to you. This is what we think we should do. We're not here for the media friends.
No, but you see, you know, you are accountable. They are our employees. We employ them. They work for someone. They're not working for themselves. When you're working for someone, you have to show your employer what you're doing. I want to see your KPI versus what you're doing. I want to see your KPI versus what you're doing. Are you living up to what you're supposed to do? Yes, infrastructure development is part of your job, but you still have to do it. It still has to be measured. So how do we measure if you don't tell us what you're doing? So you're not working for yourself. I remember Okeze was once saying that he's building bridge for himself, like he's using his money. You know, so the government needs to communicate effectively. I'll go back to project management. You must have effective communication to your stakeholders, and the people are the number one stakeholders. So they need to communicate to the people what they are doing. The government is not doing only infrastructure development. I see things that they're doing that will affect the general economic ecosystem of the state. They're trying to build and grow the economy of the state. That is where my own interest is more. Because if you build infrastructure and the state doesn't become, you know, buoyant enough to maintain them, they're going to dilapidate over time. So you build things that will give resource to the state to keep building and developing more infrastructure. That's how you build an economy.
Okay, I'll throw some questions to you. So for you to react to what people actually think out there, because they are skeptical that, oh, maybe they're just trying to impress us. Then we usher them into the second tenor and everything dies down, declines. Your thoughts, sir?
Well, it's just like if you have been following the trends of governance in this country, you find out that I don't think so. I don't think so, because you see, you know, I'm advocate of leadership, and then leadership is like accounting or mathematics. It's either you know it or you don't know it. It's either there's nothing like in between. Say you are gambling. It's either you know it. It's either you're a proactive leader or you're a reactive leader. Or what I mean by proactive leader is somebody who takes action, who sees a problem, he wants to solve problem. And the reactive people will be reacting to what people will say and what people will not say and all the rest of it. So, but when you look at this government, in fairness, to just like you said, I'm not from this state, but I'm married from this state, and everything that concerns this state is also my project, because I think I'm going to live here, if possible, die here. I'm not going to any other place. So anything that happens to this is a priority to me. So do you understand? And that's why developed countries are countries that you don't have anything to do with your state of origin. Where you are living is what matters.
The place.
And then that's why when they are giving you residence in America, they are giving you because you are part of the system and you contribute to the system. But here they're always making reference where your state. Me, I've not been to my state in the last how many years, I can't remember. And then if I go there, I don't stay more than a day, so I'll run back. Because you see, but the truth of the matter that if you look at this government, it's like somebody, at times I look at whether is he running, he's not running it as a government, he's running it as an enterprise. Because all what he's doing is direct. Okay, these infrastructures, you know, people will not, or somebody like me will not appreciate it when it's done. And then complaining that the structure has been put down. So what we are looking now, what will replace the structure that has been put down? What will replace what is, because it's like a vision. It's the only one that is seeing the vision. We are not seeing what is seeing. Do you understand? Personally, I'm not seeing what is seeing, because what I see is what is on the ground. All this paper they draw is just as far as I'm concerned, but that's where it starts. So it's one that knows where he's going, and I think he's doing the right thing. And then we need to follow him, and then believe that at the end of the day, he will do the right thing. So when people complain, it's always natural. You know, change is not easy. And then when people are not used to the truth, and they are coming to tell them this is truth, they will find it.
They believe the lies more.
Yes.
All right. All right,
Because here we believe in more lies than
Because they've lied to us too much.
Mr. Chilaka, now we're seeing this controversy building up on social media where people are saying that they're comparing the governor of Enugu State with the governor of Abia State. They're saying that the governor of Enugu State is the working governor, whereas the governor of Abia State is, quoting what they were saying, which of course you would have to respond to, is more about the media and what is being projected online about his actions. So they are now saying that the governor of Enugu State is, making his way up the ladder. Their thoughts. Your reaction.
I like that competition. It's healthy.
Yeah, right.
Because
funny enough, he started off. I love the fact that Abia started and then Enugu's catching up.
They are comparing performing people.
Yeah, I also think these two governors we're talking about, they are the best governors in the country. There's one other one in the north. I don't remember the state that's also working very well. They are the best, and like in the east, I can see some changes happening in Imo State, and Ebonyi also trying to keep up with this kind of competition we want. They should continue comparing them, okay? And, like I said before, in Abia there was a big deficit of infrastructure, thanks to 3 past governors that almost did nothing. With all the resources, Abia has more resources than Enugu State.
Yeah.
With Abia as a market, and also the oil, income. Now, the Enugu State governor is doing magic with nothing. Because even me, I see, as anytime I'm privileged to meet his staff, I ask, where is the money coming from? They're doing so much. Calling for us to say, the past governor, where is your own money? Where did you keep it? Yes, if this man had this money and he didn't do anything, someone needs to explain where that money went to. So, Abia versus Enugu once again. Enugu is building an economy. I don't have full details about Abia, but I know Oti is a very seasoned businessman and economist. So whatever things he's doing, I'm sure we'll be matching in those lines as well. Because I saw some video of Abba. I know Abba very well. I was confused. I couldn't believe that was Abba. So when you bring some level of security into a city, you grow confidence of people who are coming to invest. This morning when I was coming here, the whole road was filled up. On Mondays, roads are empty. Surprisingly, we had the roads filled up. So, I sat here to condemn their first move about sit at home. I did.
Yeah.
So they have beaten me to that. So whatever they did worked.
So you're saying the government corrected you?
Of course. I mean, what makes a man a confident man is able to accept when you got it wrong. So because maybe I didn't have their total plan end to end, I spoke from what I saw. So,
all right,
today,
Mr. Chilaka, I have to come in now. The governor also pledged that he will turn the state into a construction site.
He has.
Are you seeing that happening?
It's construction almost everywhere.
Everywhere.
At least you can get to
the city is a construction site right now.
No, even the construction, I think he's saying what is real.
He has turned the whole state into a construction. It's not just in Enugu town.
Everywhere.
Funny enough, it's not just in Enugu town. You know how many schools they're building?
If you look at the school system.
Okay, I tell you what. The schools, each of them is about, what I heard, 500 something million to construct one, and they're doing 100 and something, or is it 200 and something? So every single ward in the state is been turned into a construction site. There are healthcare centers going on everywhere, outside the roads and everything. I don't know anybody who doesn't see what is good in this government. I'm not talking about the governor, because the governor, your government is your team. He has assembled the right thing. Yeah, there's some weak links here and there. It's normal, but they are doing a great job.
There are some people that would undeniably be watching this program and saying that we are tooting the horn of the governor, that what about this? What about the water galleries? What about this? They're going to say that we're just commending him and we're not looking at the other side of things. What do you have to say to that?
In our place, you see, when somebody is doing well, you encourage them to do more. Okay? So if you keep discouraging the person, he will be, he'll be at the point, you say, to her with anything.
They don't see it as discouraging. They don't see it as discouraging, Mr. Chilaka. They see it as keeping the person on his toes.
Yeah, while I'm saying he's doing a good job, doesn't mean if I say anything wrong, I will not. You know me, I will say it. So for today, they're doing a good job. Where they miss it, okay, I'll give you an example. If you're on the express now, I'm sure it won't be as busy as inside of town because there's still security challenges. We're talking about farm settlements. They're trying to build farm settlements now. I don't know if you know about that. The state's trying to build farm. So one level of security are you going to put in those areas to ensure that these, killer herdsmen will not invade such communities and kill off people? So, if they don't get those things right, we'll be here to, we have to be constructive in the criticism. I don't want somebody, there's a person I know that is a Labour Party person. We were both supporting Labour Party before. I'm not a party member. I'm a neutral man. So when the ties changed, I said, listen, this man is working. I'm with him. The candidate for Labour didn't impress me with his resume and what he's done before today. So I go for who I believe in. I have no stakes. I have no interest. I'm not a politician. I have no card. So the government of the day is doing well, and we'll continue to support them for the things they do well. Not everything. I'm not holistically saying I'm with the government. No. I'm saying I'm in support of the projects they are doing and how efficiently they are managing funds. Because that's the only way you can see what you're seeing in the Enugu State.
I think so too.
And they've racked a lot of revenues, like running in billions already. Like
people are crying about the taxes, and we're seeing what the tax is being used for. So you see, when you're spending money, you go to ShopRite to buy stuff, and you're coming and say, I spent 200,000, and then you look at the back of your car and everywhere is filled with stuff. You'll be happy. Not when you go in and you spend 300,000 and you have a politician.
You're drawing from personal experience. So
exactly.
Yes, you went shopping yesterday and you left it.
I have this question for both of you, right? But you can start and he can say, how redundant did this dispensation leave the past dispensation? And my question still remains, what really happened? Why are we seeing what we're seeing now? And why didn't we see it yesteryears?
I don't know. The press people are very courageous people. I will expect you for one day to invite the former governor here for a program and ask him questions.
What happened?
Yes, I would like to be, if possible, if you invite me, I will come. Let him tell us what happened, what impeded his, because he's a smart person. I've engaged him. You can condemn people from afar. I've spoken to Governor Ugu, and he's a smart man. I will say it again. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
People think he's dumb. He's not.
No, he's not.
Very
I've known him
intelligent man.
since like 2003 to House of Assembly yesteryears.
Yes. He's a smart guy. So now the question is, you can get things wrong. Maybe political loyalty, maybe wrong team, maybe too much. As a leader, you have to find some level of stubbornness to resist certain stakeholders. Remember what happened to Mbadinuju in Anambra State?
I like how you say stakeholders.
Yes, Mbadinuju is not a bad person, but he pledged, his allegiance and loyalty was to some evil people. So he kept him down. So maybe Governor Ugu went through such a thing, and it needs to be communicated so that tomorrow, whoever is going to take over from Mba will know that you don't need to listen to certain people or follow certain pattern. I don't believe in this is the way we do it. No. Tell me what works and why and how. If you have no explanation to that, don't talk to me about what happened before.
All right, Mr. Daniel, let's come quickly to the maintenance question. People are seeing the ICC, the modern bus terminal, at least we're seeing the structure, but then you would assume that you ask the question, are people ready to carry or to make use of these structures and handle these structures as if they own them or as if they are their homes? Because you will not go to your home and spoil a dispenser and just walk away because you wouldn't have water to drink. So are people ready to handle this new infrastructure responsibly? The government plans to concession the ICC to a private business to manage and to run, but I can't say for sure about the modern bus terminals yet. But with specific reference to the bus terminals, because that is where you will see a lot more activity. You will see lots of people that are going from point A to B, all using the terminal buildings. Do you think that the people are ready to manage and also play their own part in ensuring that these bus terminals do not turn to ruins?
When we talk about leadership, you see, the leadership is not about only building infrastructure. It's also about building the people. Because when you build infrastructures without building people mentality that will manage that property, and if I find out that at the end of the day, it becomes, instead of that infrastructure becoming a blessing, it becomes a burden. So while the government is also trying to put all these infrastructures, they should also build people's mentality, because people are human beings are they are ready for change. But the issue that you have to build their mentality. You have to grow their mentality from managing little things to thinking big, and then because without it, because what happened that most government projects, you see that everybody say is government. I remember those days when we do, even in my office before, when somebody will now ask you, this work you are doing, is it your father's work? Is it your mother? Yes, they will just attack you openly, because you are very meticulous. We want to see this. So they're not, because it has been assumed that government's project is nobody's project. And even those in government, it's not even helping it, because they will also recruit people who also will come and destroy the whatever that is being, because of due to their selfish interest. But if you have a system whereby the infrastructure is built, and give people that you are not doing it, what is doing after some time, just like we are talking about Uguane, it has come and gone. Very soon, Mba will come and go. So government is a continuous. How do you manage those people that is being put in place? So it's a mentality issue, and we need to also manage people's mentality. Just like what we're saying, without building the people to manage that the property with time, because immediately wrong people step in. Before you know it, everything starts deteriorating.
All right, Mr. Chilaka, let's come to you quickly. Just in 20 seconds, who do you think should bear more responsibility for managing the bus terminals, the government or the people? Very briefly.
They should give it to a private company to do it and hold them accountable with the right SLA signed between them and the government.
You think the terminals should also be concessions?
Everything should be concession. The government has shown incompetence, at least for today, until there is a transition from the cultures and ethics of the government to what we see in the Western world. They should give to private companies and write a good contract and make sure that the contractors are selected properly. Not
All right.
bias.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chilaka and Joko, CEO Sputnet Limited, Public Affairs Analyst, and of course, Mr. Daniel Oku, the ED of DOF, Daniel Oku Leadership Foundation. It was a pleasure having you both on. We'll take a quick break. When the morning show returns, we're looking at that shocking clip of a student being battered at Federal Government College in Enugu. Ojiwachuku is an alumni of the school, so he will be in the best position to respond to that video, and also speaking to an artist who is making waves from the southeast Nigeria. Stay with us. The show returns shortly.